my son said, "I'm ready, Dad. I'm always ready."
I wish my kids
Not
were the same
ready.
way.
I'm always ready. So
That's
you
hilarious.
just interviewed Lars,
Yeah.
and Lars and Aaron like hung out with us at 2 in the morning in
Yeah.
Denton. First day of our first tour. I have it all documented here in our Zom Zoms tour diary of 2004.
That's fantastic.
And we played in the bottom of a pizzeria called J and J's, which doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
And we loaded in, and there was this first band which we do not know the name of.
White Telephone.
Were they called White Telephone?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were good.
They were like,
I like them.
they were like the Ramones. It was good.
Yeah.
It's like skinny jeans, long hair.
And they all have the last name White.
That's awesome. Not like the White Stripes, White Phones.
That's where the White Stripes got it from.
Yeah.
They're like the mirror inverse universe of the White Stripes.
Oh, that's cool.
And they're all male.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. If you want to add anything to the show with Lars, because he was the last one I just talked to.
Because Jack White's dickless, so he's female.
Yep.
That's why they're the inverse. They're the male version of do no dick. Is that good?
Bum, 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 bum. That's fun.
No dick.
Yeah.
No,
We're changing our band to No Dick.
I'm okay with that.
Did you ever see that band No Bra? That is like a woman from Germany, No Bra, and she performed without a shirt on, and she had really long hair, like covered breasts. Yeah.
No way, bra.
Yeah.
What was the name? What was the name of the band?
No Bra.
No, bro.
Yeah.
No wave bra.
No way, bro. No way.
It's actually true.
This is how our band operates.
Yeah, that's fine. No, it's okay. I'm all right with that.
There's
So,
St. Louis.
Can we read our St. Louis entry?
were you at St. Louis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kept raining. In no time, we were looking at misty Oklahoma. Zoms drove another 2 hours and then handed the wheel over to me. I proceeded to make sharp turns and scare the living crap out of Phil and Zoms. I'm Zom, by the way.
Yeah.
We pulled over at a rest stop on the border of Oklahoma and Missouri. We went to the bathroom, and Zom said that the stall was like a medieval castle, but the urinals were quite ordinary. The sinks were cool, 3-step hand wash. After we relieved ourselves, we went back into the tour center, and this black guy was a total dick to us.
Sounds about right.
He gave us this scornful eye over the pince-nez look, which is prized by all the stuffy prigs who work boring jobs all over the world.
Do you remember what venue that was?
Oh, no, we hadn't gotten to the venue.
Oh, you didn't get okay.
Because, so, like in TV and movies, you never see anyone going to the bathroom.
Right.
And we tell every bathroom we go to.
That's fantastic.
Like thousands of pages of bathrooms.
Unless you're Tom Hanks, because Tom Hanks pees in every movie, so.
Oh, he does. Is that on his writing? Well,
pretty much every movie. I think the best pee that he had has got to be Green Mile, when he had the urinary tract infection. Seemed very accurately just acted when he was trying to relieve himself, and it looked like the most painful piss that I've ever seen in my life.
You were totally right. Yeah, diarrhea is all over Castaway. He's just like a diarrhea factory.
Yeah, it's all the time. I don't know what it is. It's got to be in his contract where he always has to use the bathroom. And
I think it influenced Swiss Army Man. He's like just like farting into the universe.
That's a great point. Yeah,
probably.
Okay, keep going.
Okay,
go for it.
How about we just skip to the venue? Is that cool?
Go for it. Yeah.
Record Exchange.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we went to Record Exchange. We sound checked. The bald guy asked if we were already playing. Another cooler bald guy named Todd did our sound and got Phil and I beers.
Nice.
Ordered pizza from this girl bartender. She asked later, do y'all wear those shirts or is it just you? They're so rad. We started talking to Jamie and he shooed us away to Record Exchange. We got there late, but the guy was nice and he said he'd leave the store open for us another 15 minutes since we were from out of town. I bought 2 buttons. Zoms bought a rare 45, and Phil got a really rare record for cheap. When we got back to the club, we were encouraged by seeing a collection of kids eating pizza. Our pizza wasn't even ready, but Todd brought it to us in a couple minutes. After we finished eating, we got on our outfits. Zoms had been talking to some kids about things to do in the city. They said St. Louis was boring.
Mm-hmm.
We started playing, and people actually got up and stood to watch us. At one point, I said that if I didn't get any goddamn cocaine after the show, that I would be fucking pissed. But I was joking. I broke my personal record for string breaking at a show on my Roland guitar. I broke 3 strings at the same time on our spotty rendition of Stubborn Beast Flesh. Bill said that he felt strings whip his mustachioed face. Luckily, my SG was tuned and cued in the corner, and we continued the set without further incident. It gave me a warm feeling to see the crowd pumping their fists to one brain.
Well, there you go.
We sold about 3 or 4 t-shirts, even though we agreed to raise the price to $10. We sold a couple CDs and one of the old ones.
That's awesome.
One guy who was really into the show named JJ, we decided we would call RC Lemons when we got to Madtown. Because we would always name the person we were staying after the venue we would play. Because JJ
Lemons.
Because we played at Lemons.
Yeah. I performed there. Yeah, they got great pizza.
Yeah,
they do have good pizza.
They do have great pizza, and it's always free pizza. Like anytime you play, it's like you get, I think, 2 drinks and a pizza, and it's like I could have just stayed in that venue and just eaten forever. It was amazing. Great pizza.
Yeah, we played the Parlor here in Austin.
Yeah,
which is sadly shut down.
Yeah.
But we would play for pizza regularly.
It was great. No, I didn't mind. Like anytime I had, and I think the best one was it was a venue, now it's closed down, called Cicero's, and it was always like you can get pizza chips, which is kind of like baked crust, and then you dip it in sauce, or you get a pizza and some drink tickets. So, but yeah, so it was fantastic.
Yeah.
What was your guys' favorite venue to play? I might as well knock out that question.
Was it playing at the Parish? Is that the best?
Oh, here in town or just ever?
Oh, see, I assume
anywhere. Yeah, just anywhere.
It was Austin.
Well, we played. What was the name of the guy who managed Lace George Leningrad?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's in the journal.
Dig board. Yeah, no, we got plenty of time. It's okay.
They had that venue that was like upstairs. Zoo Bazaar. Man, that was a cool venue.
It's in Montreal. We were asked by Les George Leningrad to play Halloween for their festival, and everyone was dressed in Halloween outfits.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So you played in Montreal. So you really aren't kicked out of Canada?
We were.
We actually. That was just like a few days after our year of being banned from Canada.
What happened? I need to know about that.
Who wants to start?
Legally, are you allowed to talk about it?
Travis, you've been quiet. It came up, actually, because I was in Canada last week.
Oh,
okay, there you go.
Your experience.
So, I got to the border, and
that's okay.
It's a lot of stuff. I got to the border, and it's like, it was like, oh, you're all vacationing. Oh, the kids, hi kids. Oh, there's this light means you have to pull over there. So I went inside, and the woman was like, you have a flag on your account. And I was like, my account? I have an account. She's like, your profile. Have you ever robbed a store? I was like, no. I was like, well, have you ever been fingerprinted or detained by the police? And I was like, well, I've been fingerprinted for my job because I'm a teacher. And then she's like, there's this flag on your profile. So I just need to know the last time. Can you just walk me through the last time we were in Canada? And then I said, we played Montreal at Zoo Bazaar. But the time before that, there was an incident. Anyway, by the time I talked about Les George Leningrad and was describing their drummer and how insane he was, she's like, you know what? I get it. Musicians get detained, like especially in the early aughts. So I understand what happened, and you guys are free to go into Canada. But 20 years before that, we were touring California, and we had a gig in British Columbia. Was it in? Am I wrong?
Was it Vancouver?
Was it Vancouver? I don't know.
Yeah,
it was at the. It was supposed to be at the Lamplighter in Vancouver. Okay. The Canadian government has all of this recorded. They one of the last times I was stopped at the border, they read the details of the report, including how much they were charging at the door of the venue we were supposed to play at.
Detailed, Jesus.
So yeah.
They had our MySpace pulled up, and they were like, "These are you guys. You guys are screwed."
And then they pulled all of our merch out of the car and laid it out on the ground like it was a drug seizure.
Yep.
And they were just like, "Look, you were gonna sell all this stuff in Canada."
Yeah.
They said we could confiscate this, but we're not going to because it was too sad. Yeah, we were touring with Yip Yip. And,
I know Yip Yip.
They had gone on ahead of us because our car had broken down in Central Washington.
Oh God!
We didn't hear from them for hours, and we got to the border hours after them, and they'd been detained there the whole time. And we had a fake letter from the guy who booked the show saying we were there to record an album to explain why we had all the gear.
Mm-hmm.
And Chad kept insisting that we were there to record and we weren't playing a show. And he was indignant that we were being accused of playing a show. And I started laughing. And the border agent said, "I'm going to leave you with nothing but that smile on your face when I'm done with you." And then it got kind of scary. Yeah.
Mounties.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So they did our mug shots, and they made us sign a paper saying we wouldn't return within the next year, and they sent us back to the U.S. side, and then the U.S. border agents made fun of our shirts and our band name, and and now for the rest of our life, I've asked the border agents. They said for the rest of our lives.
Oh wow.
We will have to stop at Customs and Immigration. So.
Wow. Jesus.
Yeah.
But that's insane. That is insane.
Yeah.
We were rescued because we played a show in Tacoma that night.
Yeah.
With what would in the future be the fabulous Downey Brothers.
Yeah.
They were called the Dooch.
And I think, ironically, didn't Up Montreal also get banned from Canada for the same thing? Like shortly thereafter. I think I remember hearing that. I just thought that was ironic.
Is that like a thing? Like if you're selling too much merch or you have like instrument, like are they weird about I've never heard of that before, people being detained just because you're selling so many shirts or so many CDs or whatever. Is that, I guess
we were trying to work without a permit, and the border agent said, "Well, why didn't you just pay the $450 fee for the permit?"
I just got that lying around, of course.
Right.
We're touring musicians. We just have that just laying around.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That was always the hard part about touring, was all that cash we had.
Right.
Yeah, we had.
You can open up the door of the car and all this cash
it's all coming out.
out, and you'd be embarrassed because these other bands, they're so poor, and you're like, I guess, it's
all this money.
Like Salvador Dali and the broccoli and the limo.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah.
Like Salvador Dali of America.
Sounds about right. Who made the outfits?
Oh, that's Eric's former girlfriend, right?
Yeah, and now Turbo's wife.
Turbo's wife.
Yeah.
That's right.
She was Sarah. Sarah's last name?
Sarah.
I mean, it's not her last name anymore. So. But Sarah was in costume design class.
Yeah.
At UT, and she had great style. But we worked together to make these costumes.
They're fantastic. Yeah. So very original.
I remember she drew all these really fantastic drawings.
Yeah, she did fashion drawings for them.
Yeah.
They were so good, and we were like, these are too good not to do something with, so we used them for our second run of t-shirts.
Yeah. No, it's really cool. Lars said you are the reason Zolo was brought into Texas. Tell me about that.
I did smuggle Zolo into Texas. It was difficult.
Sounds
Texas.
like it. Especially with a vehicle full of cash just falling out. So
Yes. Yeah. So I got stopped a lot. Um, no, Texas has some Zolo history. Austin has some great like Zolo music from the past. Um, but yeah. I mean, I think Lars defined it well, and so I would encourage anyone who's interested to go listen to that interview.
Yeah,
because it's good.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it was great, and I was telling them the first three I wanted when I started this podcast to do interviews of bands was Femme Fatality, Lars from On the Undoing, and now you guys, and it just like everything came together so beautifully. So I appreciate you guys being on. I really do.
I love your chopping mall shirt.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I got this
the part where like the golf cart and the electricity, and it's just magic.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of like 80s horror, anything cheesy horror, Full Moon and Trauma, or just anything, just cheesy horror, anything.
You've Got Mail is probably my favorite.
You've Got Mail? Yes. That's horrifying. So scary.
Commitment,
He's a Tom Hanks fan.
Commitment's scary.
He's like, what can you
What was
do?
that one? What was the
all over. There's pee. There's
Did he urinate in that?
Vomiting blood. And You've Got Mail? The blood vomit sequence.
Yeah.
It's so realistic, and the veins popping out on his eye.
Well, when the head explodes, you want to like pause it and go.
I thought that was like a little bit Cronenberg derivative.
Obviously, yeah.
I mean,
that was a reference.
It had to be, right. Obvious.
It made me look at Seattle in a new kind of way.
I think so too.
Never.
What was it like growing up in a small town? Did you guys really grow up in Tuba City, or was that just something you put on the bio?
Tuba City was, us in Tuba City is like, we stood out a lot. It's on the reservation. And
I remember this guy driving by on a truck, and he said to Phil and I, "Y'all look like a couple walking dildos."
Sounds like my town. So
yeah, it was like that a lot.
Yeah.
So out of there, we sold encyclopedias, we delivered pizza.
Yeah.
And just enough to get to Austin.
Yeah, when did you move to Austin?
We're a MySpace band. Like we met on MySpace. It's completely artificial. I remember us meeting. It was like, there's this guy from MySpace. It was like, yeah.
Tom was in the band originally.
He didn't last. We were originally called. What was the first name of the band? It was like
Oblong Boys.
Was it Oblong Boys?
We were called something else. I forget what it was called. We had it. It was like not "Here Comes Everybody," but something like that. Mm-hmm. We would unplug ice machines and plug in our synthesizers and play at the laundromat or like at the gas station for people. I have a picture of people breakdancing to us at a gas station.
I'm okay. Yeah, show pictures. I'm open to anything. So
I wish we had a document cam or something.
Do
you use those in school?
Not anymore.
What do you use instead? Yeah, just have slideshow. Yeah. With a couple of teachers.
Yeah, here's.
Why didn't I make?
Here's the So this is in San Antonio.
Yeah.
And this truck full of breakdancers pulled up and started breakdancing to us.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You're just playing like what, outside of a gas station?
And you can see that it's in 2000. It's Cinco de Mayo 2000.
That's the year of our Lord, yeah.
San Antonio.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
We also played in front of the Alamo in the gazebo we just plugged in.
That's
and there were all these people in this hotel next to the Alamo.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Shut up!"
Oh man. How did you guys get a hold of synthesizers? Because I know they're not easy to find and they're very expensive. And you guys
Thrift,
got a lot of analog.
thrift
Yeah.
stores.
Thrift stores, really?
They weren't expensive back then either.
eBay.
Yeah.
eBay. I
Yeah,
blew all
I checked. Yeah, I remember seeing you guys
Yeah.
on MySpace, and I immediately went to eBay to see how much back in like 2005 on how, and I was just like, there's no way I could afford something like that. So
We got that stuff much earlier than 2005. So
yeah.
But in the late
Love that.
90s,
Yeah.
when eBay was new, I spent all my student loan money, and when I was in college, I bought my Roland SH-101 from a police detective in LA who bought it in the early 80s and played it once and threw it in his closet. Unfortunately, with the batteries still in it,
Right.
so
Yeah.
they leaked. But this was like when eBay was new, and I didn't trust like sending someone a $300 money order.
Right. Yeah.
And I called the LA police station. He said, call me at work. Like I'll confirm. And then I sent the money. So
you called
Yeah.
the cops on him?
yeah, I called the cops on him because he left those batteries in there, and they
Oh my
corroded.
God.
So
Did you have to break it up and kind of work on the wiring on the inside, or did it seem like it was okay to play?
it actually worked. It still works.
Okay.
It can still run off batteries. And I
Oh,
got
God,
a Moog Rogue off of eBay as well. That it sat in an attic, and opened that up, and there were flies that had been trapped in spider webs that were petrified in there. But
That's crazy.
you could buy analog synthesizers for really cheap off of eBay in the late 80s. So yeah.
I got right here. I always keep this by my bed because I just like to tinker with the old microKORG. And then I got a Moog Liberation
Oh wow,
that I have in my basement. The old Moog, the first guitar Moog. Yeah,
heavy.
yeah, it's heavy, but it's always great to bring it out because people are like, whoa, like when you at least bring out anything analog and live shows, people are just like, holy shit, you're not playing nothing but digital and all that, which I still use some digital, but it's nice to kind of bring it out and play Herbie Hancock or something like that. So
What was the name of that synth pop band? They're from Arizona as well. They had a Liberation and they had a bunch of cool stuff. We played with them at Emos once. They were young. Sorry, just
that's okay. No, I was trying to think of. I know it probably wasn't Moog Cookbook.
no.
I love Moog.
I love, yeah.
God, that is the first album, all grunge songs.
Yep.
Incredible. It's
They have a really unique way of covering songs. I really
impossible
dig
to
it.
find. It's so good. I love their version of Black Hole Sun. Amazing.
I agree. What kind of music were you guys listening to growing up?
I mean, to a city, it was a lot of country music, a lot of a lot of Mexican American music. So
Love cumbia.
yeah,
And that's
Rancheros.
kind of like where we got like drums were not really used in Tuba City. It was all electronic, like plastic beats, and that was fascinating to me. Growing up in Tuba City, I played tuba for a while.
you had to.
The weight is I definitely have like a curved back. Scoliosis was a thing. It definitely improved my vocal style. The scoliosis.
Yeah.
I could tell by the vocals. I agree. So I agree.
What were you listening to?
Yeah, what were you listening to? You can.
Phil's definitely like he was like way out. He's like kind of like the Ralph Carney of the band.
Yeah.
Captain Beefheart.
He's
Far out of our
kind
own
like
realms.
ideas. I regurgitate them.
We're doing like Christian Harry Parch, kind of something like that.
I was listening to some contemporary Christian.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jars.
Stars of Play. Yeah.
Audio journaling, all that kind of stuff.
DC. Yeah.
DC Talk, yeah. I was listening to a lot
yeah.
of that stuff. So yeah, I grew up in one of those conservative Christian households. So a lot of it was I had to sneak to listen to any sort of like radio type stuff because my parents were always just cranking out, Christian tunes and stuff like that. And it was just like, okay, I'm gonna, I'll be in my room listening to my, my Walkman of, Weezer or Green Day because my parents were like, those records are not allowed in the house. I'm trying to hide that kind of music, which is weird, but
Did they allow MXPX?
Later on, actually, it was funny because my parents got upset with me because I started listening to a lot of Nine Inch Nails and Marilyn Manson, and they went to a local Christian bookstore, and they asked the person like, "Hey, my son listens to this. Can you give me a recommendation?" And first of all, none of the bands that they recommended sound anything like it. I think one of it was Mortification, and they sounded more like death metal type thing. So, but then the more I discovered like Solid State and Tooth and Nail, I was like, oh, these bands are actually really good. And I kind of caught wind of those kind of later on, probably like late 90s, early 2000s, which I think was kind of their golden era, I would say. So, because this music is really good. So,
what was that Christian? Maybe y'all know.
Starfire?
No, he had an analog synthesizer.
Joy Electric.
What's that?
Joy Electric.
Electric. Yeah.
I love Joy Electric. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, and it was one of those where it was on a label that wasn't, was more known for like pop punk and stuff like that. And the funny thing is, he got made fun of a lot just for being who he is. And then, but even a lot of his stuff, it wasn't overly like preachy. You know what I mean? Like you can listen to it and just be like, oh, this is great, and it wasn't just like, bash you in the head sort of Christian type music. So, did you grow up playing any instruments? Like, were you, raised on playing piano or drums? I know you said tuba, but
I played all the awkward instruments like viola when I was like in fourth grade. Like it was too big. I was like,
yeah, of course. Yeah.
I was like, I was like, I want to play drums. I want to play drums, and then they just handed me this like kind of instrument. Yeah,
Trombone.
and I was really good at it.
Did you join a ska band immediately?
No, I just would go behind people and be like, "Brr!" And then they'd be like,
Yes.
Just for the jump scare. That's the only reason why you wanted to play
that
it.
was basically, I thought music was to scare people.
Yeah.
I mean, some people still think that, I would say. So
yeah, I listened to a lot of They Might Be Giants.
Yeah.
It was my first rock band that I was like, okay, I understand. Lots of Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Brain Salad Surgery.
Yeah.
My dad listened to lots of Zappa. I would listen to Zappa a lot. I thought that was normal, like to have conversations while you're playing music at the same time.
Yeah.
That's how it was.
Do you think that kind of helped you influence, doing, paraphysics and Zom Zoms? Just kind of was like, here's what I was, listening to, and it just kind of transitioned into that. Do you think? Because it seems pretty accurate.
Psychic, we kind of like, it was like, it was like, hey, let's form a band and call it Pedophile, and everyone's like, no, and
missed opportunity.
Yeah, but metaphysics, we were kind of starting as like a Papa John's, Papa Molly, Papa Doddle Doodle,
Papadopoulos.
Papadopoulos, yeah, that could work. Who are your biggest influences?
Oh gosh, I mean,
Perudu. Oh, Spare Poo Poo.
Yeah. Biggest influences. I mean,
LSD.
my parents probably. You want to talk about music influences?
Sure.
Could be anything, yeah, whatever.
I mean, I was pretty influenced by what I was reading.
Yeah, what were you reading?
I mean, everybody was hell-bent on teaching you classic literature, and here we all are reading the the worst thing you could possibly read.
Yeah.
So that was important to us. You know,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
reading the weirdest possible literature that you could, and then also spewing it out of yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Being a conduit,
Yeah.
channeling.
I would say, how did the Zom Zoms form? Were you in other bands beforehand? I know the Oblong Boys. Was that kind of coincide with each other?
I think Chad and I were, I wouldn't say the word frustrated. It was more like, I don't know, like, hey, let's do something different. Or, well, and it happened every Christmas. So we would meet up on Christmas, and instead of like going to our families or whatever, and we would make up songs. And so it was kind of like we were like, this is like, you know, we're gonna make holiday music. You know, yeah.
One of the traditions was we would take turns tying each other's hands behind our backs.
Okay.
There's only two of us, so you got to take
Right.
turns.
Yeah.
You can't tie your own hands behind your back. Maybe I don't know. Could you? Anyway, and then we would eat chocolate cake with our hands tied behind our back,
Right.
and that was part of the process.
That sounds like fun. I would be.
We did it in Isabel Martin's apartment.
Is that where kind of a Lumboba's tube kind of came from? Was kind of you guys experimenting on,
Yeah.
you know, different sounds and different, you know, because it sounds like a very like at home recorded album where it was like, let's just kind of fuck around and figure things out.
Definitely. Like, so Chris Lyons, aka Gene Defcon, who's like one of my best friends, he asked us to lunch on Christmas, and his nickname was Lumbobe, and then his friend, she's from, where is she from?
She's from Houston as well.
I think she's from Houston
Yeah.
also. She was always called the Tube.
Yeah.
And so we put that together at that lunch meeting.
Yeah.
And that's where Lumboba's Tube came from.
It's really named after a woman who's a friend of a friend.
Mhm.
Now, when you guys started writing songs on that, you guys add Zom Zoms to the song titles. Was there a reasoning for that, or do you just kind of were making
John
songs?
Spencer Blues Explosion made this album called, I don't remember what it was called, but they would say John Spencer Blues Explosion over and over and over. And that's where I got the idea.
Oh, that's kind of
I completely stole it from that. True. I guess a lot of bands do that though.
Like KMFDM and like Atari Teenage Riot, they add a lot of their own. I don't know why they always add it in the song where it's like
Atari Teenage Riot.
That's fun.
Yeah, and KMFDM, they do that.
Like
Oh yeah, KMFDM does that.
Yeah, they do that a lot. I tried looking up all the most used words in KMFDM songs, and I think it was Power and KMFDM was the most used words in their songs because they'll just repeat it all the time.
wow.
So, or ultra heavy beat. I think they use that one too all the time. So, what was the recording process? Because I know Lumboba's Tube, when that you put that on Instincto Records, was that just a at home kind of thing, and then you guys decided to put it out? Or was there like a process where it's like, okay, we're going to put this out and then we're going to go on like a tour or just kind of do local shows?
That's a good question. Matt was in our band Oblong Boys, and he was no records. He's a noise artist called Ants Analog, and he offered to put out everything. And we didn't like think that Zom Zoms would be like, we thought Oblong Boys was going to be right? And then Zom Zoms was just like some like art project that we were doing. And then I don't know, it took on its own life. We boiled it down to like, what could we do live? Because you listen to the recordings and it was all in this shed on Bennett Road here in Austin. And it was like Chad and I on Christmas Day making the weirdest noises and stuff on my little Porta Studio Tascam It's like the lowest end Tascam. And it was like, 2 channels, and we pieced it together methodically. There's a whole lot of stuff that was left off. Thank God.
Just do like B-sides, like just put out a whole CD of all these things that just kind of goof around.
I listened back to it. It would take, I don't know, we would need to talk with people who would be able to do that for us.
Right.
To get clearances and stuff.
Yeah.
It would be lots of copyright violation.
Oh, really? You got to include a lot of people, or is this just kind of like?
Well, it would be like the residents, it'd be like, because everything was like, strawberry fields forever.
Oh, okay.
Over. That's the residents. We didn't do that.
Yeah.
We were more like, ooh, nasty boys. Bam, bam. Boop, 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 you nasty boys.
So after that, did you guys do, because I know was it Paraphysics? Did that come out? Was that kind of coincide still with Zom Zoms? Because I think you put some out in 04.
So I'm psychic, which means I can foretell the future.
Sure, yeah.
And I decided I would be like a paralegal, but like for psychics. And so that's why I formed Pataphysics. I was bummed. I'm gonna let you know. I was bummed that the band did. So I was like, well, what the fuck do I do? So I just formed another band called Pataphysics.
Okay.
The reason it's called Pataphysics is because in the Oblong Boys, I was Pat A Physics. And so I like made this like really like I was like, what's the most I don't know, pop thing I could do? And so those songs I kind of pulled together with my father-in-law, and we kind of made a record. We made a band and like a project, and then that's what that came out of. But for after Zom Zoms fell apart, I would go out with my tape machine and just do karaoke of my songs.
That's some vinyl.
And
that's the glare.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
But there's like this cover too, right?
Yep.
Oh, you got both of them.
That's great. Yeah.
Who are these ladies?
Yeah.
Sam had this book, and he was like, let's reimagine the cover. And because Sam was in the band and we had to sell these records.
Yeah.
He was in the version of the band where, because we had this record called My Phone's About to Die. And he just was like, let's reimagine the cover. And so we did this cover.
It looks very Kraftwerk. It looks like I would have mistaken it to be like the guys from Kraftwerk, because the hair just seems so, and then black and white, like it just looks like something from like, the Machine Man type of vibe. So I think that's kind of cool.
I love the Machine Man record.
It's a fantastic vinyl. I got it over here. So
yeah,
we are the robots. But Pataphysics is, I guess, for another podcast. Let's keep it to songs.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of focus more on songs.
I'm glad. Thank you for purchasing Pat Sounds.
Hey, no problem. No, it's a fantastic album. I'll go into that a little bit later. When you guys did sorry, I was gonna say, if you want, One Brain came out in 04, and then the Zom Zoms 12-inch came out in 05. Were you guys looking to do a little bit more touring involved with that one? Yep, that's it. Belly button. So yeah. Got that in plastic. Nice.
Sorry. I just wanted to get to do that. So that, like, if this was playing, somebody would be like, is it porn? Is it my porn? Oh God, no, stop it.
Turn it down. Yep, that's the one.
This says Austin's own weird electronic geniuses for fans of Debo and the Residents.
Yeah, there's like all these concerts in here where people would just scream Devo at us, like, over and over and over.
Set list.
There you go, set list, yeah.
This is an earlier one.
That's a good one, yeah.
This might have, because this
okay, because of the tattoo. I mean, but you guys do. Oh, there you go. You guys do have like.
Do the plastic
elements,
one. That one's the like.
That's a good one. See, I got a movie reel,
Oh,
Nice.
and then I got the Twilight Zone.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
Bravo.
No, if we're showing off tattoos, so.
Mm-hmm.
You got
But,
it.
no,
It's
but-
like, you know, it's if you're in this kind of biz, you got to show off your tattoos.
You have to. I think it's kind of like if you are a musician, you gotta have tattoos and maybe piercings, depending. So
I'm a tattoo of myself on myself.
that would be cool, kind of like what Steve-O does on his back. Do you have it?
No, it's a full like.
Completely.
Oh, your face is the okay.
His
Yeah.
lips, his eyebrows, everything.
Perfect. That's
Like
awesome.
it's like the Yakuza style.
So what did you guys do a lot of touring during that time, like 04, 05? Just kind of leave Austin and kind of tour the world a little bit, or at least, you know,
Not the
within
world,
United
just
States.
the United States.
Canada, we
unfortunately.
played Canada once.
Yeah, I was gonna say Canada and United States.
I guess that's technically true.
Technically international.
Technically international.
Right. So, but yeah, what was it? I mean, touring that, what was your guys' like favorite band to be on a lineup with?
Ooh,
I really liked Alabama Jihad,
they were amazing. They became Thomas Function later.
which Alabama Jihad's a better name. Catchier.
It does have a little catch to it. I think I like it. It stands out very much. So, especially at that time with Jihad.
We played a lot with Yip Yip.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, I like their music.
Yeah, I think they're great. Yeah, you got, I mean, shoot, Zom Zoms, Yip Yip. Like, I think it's got, seeing that like on posters, I think it kind of drew a lot of attention to. Yeah.
I think the scariest band we ever played with was the Coke Dares. Remember at the Bloomington at the Bluebird? They
Mhm.
were scary.
Coke Bears Marks. We played with Orange Cokes too.
Orange Cokes.
They were
Coats.
amazing.
They were
I
amazing.
loved Orange Cokes.
The worst band we've ever played with was Uberdose.
We got to play with El Aviador Dro.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
it's
El
amazing.
Aviador. They were
And
really great.
David Microwave.
Yeah, Heroes.
Microwaves, a baby Buddha.
Yeah.
David Bean came to see us play in Houston.
Wow.
So some of our heroes in and wave scene. Yeah.
That was cool. David Bean was really sweet. He came up to us and asked us to like autograph the record, and I'm like, "What? That'd be?" But you're like,
That's wild.
Yeah, we did a Judy's cover, and he got to see us perform that.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
We played that show with Glass Candy.
Yeah.
It was Mary Jane's. Was it Mary Jane's?
I guess so.
The Proletariat.
No, the Proletariat.
I just remember that.
When did you guys start adding a drummer, like a live drummer?
When Seth Nemec showed up, and
Okay.
Seth couldn't make it because I think he's like stuck in a room or something in his house,
Yeah, that's,
and no internet, so he couldn't
that's
join.
okay.
He was
Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. I was fine with just to make it. I was just happy enough to have you guys, you know, at least pop up and, you know, take part.
I'd like to redact what I said about Uberdose.
Okay, go ahead.
I think they just.
What's the journal say?
Maybe they were just.
Yeah, break out the journal because we need some evidence on this one.
They had too much Sparks. That
Really?
was their problem.
Or too much of a Sparks vibe to them.
No, I love Sparks. No, I love Sparks. Sparks is like I would say they're my favorite band.
Yeah, definitely. Did you see the documentary about them?
Yeah, like by
Wright did that one, didn't he?
yeah, Shaun of the Dead, Baby Driver. What? I'm missing the really cool.
Hot Fuzz.
Oh man, I love that movie.
Yeah.
You used to show up to practice with that Sparks was the kind of first alcoholic energy drink.
It was like cringe.
I opened
Oh.
the journal, and I kid you not, Phil and I drank gallons of Sparks, stood right next to the Statue of Liberty, and slept at Isabel, Candace, and Dirk's house and Jill's house all simultaneously. So Sparks, obviously, a big
We
deal.
should have been sponsored because
Yeah, we
Right.
spent so much money on Sparks.
we always had orange tongues and
Yeah.
Do the like
I used to have, I think it was either Shock or it was Sparks, and that stuff would make me sweat and then itch. And I remember me and my friend were like, let's drink a bunch of that, and then we'll do like a synthesizer freestyle jam. Just be all caffeinated up and try and do what we can by being productive in one way or another. So, Rat Ward Festival. I saw that lineup. That looks pretty incredible. How was that for you guys? It was just it was a festival that was played, I think, in Texas or in Austin, and it was 3 or 4 days of noise artists, new wave, stuff like that. Let me see if I can pull it up. But I saw it on your guys's let me see. Was it the Flickr? And it looked like a pretty incredible, yeah, lineup. Let me see. Oh, come on. There it is. Yeah, it's called Rat Ward Outsider.
Oh, yeah, Rat Ward.
Yeah.
That was in Virginia.
Oh, was that okay? I may have got my day. Yeah.
It's about the comic book store.
It was really cool. It was all wheat pasted psychedelia type venue.
Yeah. They had video game, like original video game wallpaper from the 80s. Like
really?
It was like some Pac-Man pattern with like I just blew my mind.
That's
the
pretty cool.
walls were covered in like European porn, and somebody got stabbed at the show,
a machete,
and came back with a knife looking for the person who stabbed him. He had blood all over running down his side.
It was scary.
And that was Virginia?
Yeah.
That was Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Dan Deacon and Yip Yip played.
Yep.
And what was that? There's this, I have this CD by this band. It's so incredible. It was called Art Lord and the Self Portraits. They were fucking amazing.
I'll have to look that up, definitely. That's cool. Yellow Rainbow came out.
I remember, I wanted to tell you, Justin, I have a copy of that Undoing of David Wright CD, because I heard on the last interview you wanted a copy of that.
Yeah.
I'll tape it for you and throw it at you if you want.
Okay.
This one?
Oh, that's the one.
Yeah, definitely. Because I had the I still got like the art and all that, like the CD case, but the copy I had either got broke or scratched up real bad, and now I can't find it anywhere. And then I remember talking with Lars about it, and he's like, "Oh, okay, yeah."
That was my band from college.
That's really okay.
Dance music. It was all synthesizers, and our drums came from Justin. Do you know about the MTV Music Generator?
Of course.
It was the game for the Sony PlayStation, and that was where our drums came from.
I had a friend who was doing a lot of that, trying to make music using that. That's pretty cool. It's very like, something that isn't quite used all the time and the most nostalgic. So I'll have to look that up. I've written down all your guys' other projects that I need to dig into. But
I ended up in Zom Zoms because I tried to get a new member to be in Star Patrol when I moved to Austin.
Right.
Nikki Nash.
Oh yeah, Nikki Nash.
But she was too embarrassed to. She was really cool, and she was too embarrassed to wear spacesuits and do a gimmick band. But
that's a missed opportunity.
She was like a lot of like that the French sort of space rock era of the 70s when they were all kind of dressing in like space outfits and
yeah. I once played a show with Blowfly.
Really?
Yeah, I had this punk band called the Old Timers.
Yeah, I wrote that down. Yeah,
we played the Red Eyed Fly. Schlong Daddy was opening. That's good.
Great names.
But one of the guys, he had this really good punk band called Doofus. Check it out.
Okay.
That band's awesome.
That's
I got
Doofus.
that band hard.
From those 90s.
Yeah, they're good.
So Yellow Rainbow and Zom Zoms EP came out in 2006. Were you guys trying to kind of further it? Like, I mean, because the sound seems like it got a little bit crisper, if there's a best way I can kind of
There's a
describe
lot
it.
of unreleased stuff, but you know,
Okay,
I
was
mean,
that kind of where it was going?
I don't know. It was like kind of this agreement that, you know, I break with the kind of thing.
Well, when CRISPR came out, though, I mean, it was much more lo-fi than it is now. Like they can do all kinds of things with genes now that they couldn't do back then when they recorded our stuff.
More importantly, I named my son Crispin after Crispin Glover.
Yep.
Do you have his album, the Crispin Glover album?
Oh yeah. Thank you to Brian for buying me that on Record Store Day. They
I
did.
wanted to get it. They were out.
Problem does not equal the solution. The solution is let it be.
What's the answer?
I think if you knew the answer, you had to call that number in the back. But I don't think he even released what the answer is.
You have to watch Ruben and Ed.
Yeah. So Clowny Clown Clown might have been my favorite music video to watch. And I always wanted to do a cover of it, but every time I tried, it sounded like just garbage. I love Clowny Clown Clown. That's probably one of my favorites. And I would play it all the time and just play it to annoy people. Just like whoever's around, if I'm at work playing music, I'll turn it on and they're just like, what is this? What is happening?
Do you have a Crispin Glover story? Please say you. Have you
Me?
met him?
No, not. I wish I could have met him. But
He's around these movies a lot. He's going to do that again, you know, for the problem does not equal the solution. He's coming out with it. So, I hope Everything Is Fine. Did you see that one?
Which one?
Everything Is Fine.
Is that the
second one? There's What Is It?
movie he directed where he would have like people with like disabilities play the main roles?
That's What Is It?
Okay, that's all right. Yeah, yeah. So
The guy in
he's paraplegic, but
it's muscular dystrophy.
Muscular dystrophy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's coming out with a third film.
Okay. I'll have to keep my eyes out on that one. So, you know, he does great work, and even his dancing in one of the Friday the 13th movies has become of legend. So
I have a picture of him with my pregnant wife.
that's amazing.
And I was like, we're naming him Crispin. And then he's like, no, you can't name him Crispin. And I was like, no, we've decided that's
happening.
He's like, but everyone will call him Kristen. And I was like, so be it. That's the way it's going to be.
I've never seen somebody do a better impression. That is very spot on for how you.
It's because I've been listening to the Reggie Watts memoir.
Did they do something together that I don't know about? Him and Reggie?
Montana. Great Falls, Montana.
Okay.
He does a great Crispin Glover impression. Incredible.
I'll check
that
out
the audiobook. Go to your library, check it out online through Libby. I know I'm an English teacher. I can't help it.
I was gonna say, I was like, what? I know you're a teacher. You do English?
Yeah, I teach English at School for the Blind.
Are you guys also teachers, or is this just you?
This guy's not just a teacher; he's a professor.
Okay, what do you do?
I teach sociology.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I tried substitute teaching once, and I had a panic attack. And I lasted half a day. I think they had to get a substitute for me.
That's okay. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do it either. I wouldn't be a very good teacher at all. So I think this podcast is my way of actually trying to become less of an introvert and just try and speak with people instead of having a face-to-face. It's like, hey, let's just talk through the computer. It just makes things a little easier. So, and this is my way of like breaking that, like, again, I want to talk to the people I've looked up to. And it's like, okay, so let's try and have a face-to-face without even being in the same room, you know? So
we can come over.
I mean, if you want to travel all the way to St. Louis, but I live in a town that's basically like Tuba City if you feel like reliving that one again. So
okay. Yeah, I mean, we can't really go back. So
yeah.
We gotta go forward.
We're banned from Tuba City.
I want to go
like we're banned from Canada.
Yeah.
God
Different situation.
damn it.
Yeah. Did the Zom Zoms actually break up, or are you guys just kind of taking like a hiatus?
Broke up, man.
What happened?
Milford, Connecticut, 2006. We broke up.
Do you have the journal on that one?
Yeah. Let's not
Is it
read that.
painful to break open, or
It's a bummer. I'm still pissed about it.
It was a long.
I am still angry about it. I'm sorry. I'm still angry about it.
Milford, Connecticut.
Say your piece.
Let me tell you, I thought Zom Zoms was going to be my life. I thought that was the future. I thought that's all I would do. But that's because I'm demented.
I liked the Tours album when you added the live drums to it. I really felt like it really was like it felt full, if that's the best way I can describe it. Where, I mean, I like having the drum machines and all that, but adding the live drummer, it kind of felt like a little bit more synth punk than, what I guess the earliest stuff was classified. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like everything else, but hearing that one, it was like, oh, it just felt like it really was like a well-rounded sound, if I can maybe so bold.
Did you see us play? Did you see us live?
No, I didn't get a chance to see you guys live when you came to St. Louis, but most I did was just find you guys online and just look up all the because I don't even. Did you guys tour through St. Louis, or did you come and play? Oh yeah,
twice.
Yeah, twice. Okay.
The last entry in the 06 tour is Lawrence, Kansas.
Oh yeah.
We played sloppy, and I was a real asshole to Zoms.
Yes.
I intentionally spilled a Rolling Rock all over his pedal. I spit in his face. I was real uncool. I guess I scared people, but people probably just thought I was a dick.
That's the last entry in the
last one?
2006.
Yeah. No,
It's so bad that you didn't want to write that one down. Is that what it was?
When I found out that we were breaking up, I really went off. We did mushrooms. I was like out of my mind. I had a complex, everything. And there's even like video of me crying and stuff. I just couldn't handle it. I've got a huge ego.
I mean, it's
You don't seem like you have that very big of an ego.
No, I have a huge ego.
Is it like separated, like there's ego, like characteristics when it comes to music, or do you know how to separate that when you're being a parent?
It worked out because there's this great shtick. It happens in my bands now, and I will just go off. I will just talk forever, and then the band cuts me off. That's how it happens. The banter is the band cutting me off. Right. And it works because everyone's laughing because I had more to say, but I don't say it because we got to do band.
I think that's
over
okay.
and over and over and over forever.
It's like an ADHD, ADD thing where you just don't stop talking, and people.
I wish I had that disorder. I absolutely worse.
With your music, I would think that there's a whole lot of like we were raised on Ritalin type situation going on.
I don't know.
It's like a poetry slam disease.
Yeah, it's a poetry slam disease. It's something more lascivious. It's like
Tourette's but long-winded.
Yeah.
Before I go into any of your guys' side projects, is there anything else you want to add, like journal entries or pictures or anything like that before?
Oh God, it's just like
don't open that.
It's like so much shit.
I mean,
there's no way you can go through it all.
You really want to get us started on that?
I
mean,
if you want to, that's up to you. So unless you feel like you've already relived the past too much.
We died.
Well, there you go.
We're dead. Long live Zom Zoms.
Long live Zom Zoms. So pataphysics. Let me go ahead and talk about.
We've been called Papa Psychic.
Papa Psychics.
That was the best because it was on a marquee. It said Papa Psychic.
Yeah.
And I was like,
can't take it back.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, we're called Papa Psychic now. That's what
I had an electronic project called Spiral Shaped Mind, and I went to a radio show to do like an interview and a live performance, and he called me Spinal Shaped Anals. I don't know how that worked, but that was I was like, I guess I'm gonna take that and accept it. Spinal shaped anals, I guess. Yeah.
So this is in Tuba City. This is a picture of Zom. He's pooping.
Is that one of those? Is that like a real picture, or is that one of those like the fake?
No, that's really me.
That's amazing.
Look at that outfit.
That's okay. I'm all right with that. That's
so
a fantastic
embarrassing.
picture.
How did that make that in there? I think that's my mom's fault.
Just putting in, pictures.
Literally, I am shitting. Baby shit. Oh well.
Baby shitting.
That's good.
Oh, so Pat Sounds. I really dug it. Fantastic album.
We're already on work for the follow-up. It's like the way we recorded it. I have a Otari 5050.
Yeah.
That French quarter-inch tape, and it's all in my shed and at Tim's work, and yeah, it's gonna be super zolo-y. I'm excited.
I really like that. And was there any sort of inspiration to Pet Sounds, or were you just kind of trying to parody that?
Oh yeah, that was definitely intentional. The back, I don't know if you looked at the back of the album.
Yeah.
The digital download has
Okay, yeah, there you go.
all AI generated.
Yeah, because that kind of goes into the music video you made for the Hands.
Yeah.
I wrote in my notes, I said the Hands music video was a real trip. The Beach Boys on mail order psychedelics. That was how I described it.
Got it. This guy made the video.
Yeah, he sent it to me, and that's how I ended up looking it up. And then I think you also did Addict Ted's Starfish is Man. You did a lot of synth work on that one, you told me.
Did some synthesizer.
Yeah, it sounds fantastic. Did you want me to add that to like the description, like to download and check out and all that?
Yeah, I think it's a great record.
Okay, I think it's fantastic the way I liked it. And then you said it was a tribute to the Oblong boys.
Oh yeah, that's oh no.
Video, yeah.
Closes outside in.
Was that before Zom Zoms, the Oblong boys?
We would play so many shows with Addict Ted. Like I can't even. I don't know. I mean, so many. Grady has like always been in my life. I actually saw him 2 weeks ago. I played the farmers market in San Marcos with my kids band, the Telephone Company.
Yeah, I got that right.
Guys, so we were on tour. Our first tour in 2004. We went to Chicago, and Chef and I got like asked on Chickagogo. And if you look at the video of Chickagogo when Telephone Company, Travis and Chad are in the audience in their multi-form, and it worked out great.
That's cool. Yeah, so Pat Sounds, I felt like it varies through a bunch of different genres in my eyes. I mean, it goes from like neo psychedelica to like experimental rock. But what I put in my notes is as the album ends, it sounds like music from Yo Gabba Gabba. And I mean that in the most sincere way, because it's one of my favorite shows that my daughter grew up watching. And it was like, how have I not, like, this is probably one of the most amazing, and I see a lot of resemblance in the way that album ends. It's a very like, I don't know, it just reminded me of Yo Gabba Gabba. I don't know if that
we're like that live too. I mean, you just, I don't know, want to have fun. Tim and I have like a animal rap party band called Charles Edward Cheese Band, and we played like Fantastic Fest. We played, Bring Your Own Lawn Chair. Oh yeah, this is our album. It's Gene Defcon and Tim and I, and we dress up in mascot costumes and rap about pizza.
That's awesome.
That's our rap tape. It's distributed through K.
Is that out on digital, or is that just between you guys kind of situation?
It's not digital. It's just K record.
Too bad. It's really good.
Well, if enough people watch this and demand it, would you guys put it out on?
I'll tape it. I'll throw it to somebody, whoever wants it.
Yeah.
We have like 14 albums. None of them released. They're all like tailor made for like birthday parties and we custom made a children's music album to open up Human Centipede 2. It had to be all about pornography, but it had to be for children. It's like pretty fun to make.
That sounds good.
What's this? It's not Nikki Six because that's wrong.
From Molly Crew.
That's not no, it's not Nikki Six, but he has a name like that. The director of Human Centipede. What's his name?
Let me,
Six.
I'm going to be unprofessional and check my phone.
I don't remember. Okay, so we're all dressed in mascot costumes, and
Tom
we're like
Six. Tom Six. Sorry. Okay.
Tom Six. There you go. We're all like rapping. We're like, pornographic assembly line, and like in our character voices. And Tom Six is like breakdancing in a cowboy hat on stage with us, kind of thing.
That's amazing. Is that video anywhere, or is this just for your own memories?
Of it, but nobody knows I'm in that band because I'm wearing a mascot costume.
That's okay. Well, now you let everybody know.
Kind of like The Residents, but like on acid and mushrooms and too much pizza, and also kids are controlling the puppet strings.
That's okay. I'm fine with all that. I would check it out.
Worth checking out.
Yeah, I don't really have. Is there anything else you guys need to add?
Gosh, I mean, we didn't even get into Phil's story about his childhood.
Go ahead.
How good.
Go ahead, Phil. What's up? Open up, man.
Great. Say it.
Let's look at this picture.
I had to go to school. I looked like this.
That's some good gear, though. Hey, that's a nice.
Toilet and then the trash can. I'm gonna stab you with that with the pencil.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That's,
I like it.
The song Hyper Lenny was true story.
Yeah. About his fifth grade teacher.
This is what we look like most of the time.
Just do pictures and just keep tossing them. Like, here you go.
It's kind of
You should see
fun.
this room. It's covered with photographs now.
I'm okay with that.
They're like sticking to the wall, but face first.
Okay, yeah, that was from your album cover, yeah. That's perfect. So that's where it came from. Okay, well, that's good to know. So,
and that was the start of that young lady's modeling career.
Was it really? Did she go off to do anything else?
She's a Trump model.
Trump model.
Trump model.
Sorry.
Poor darling post-punk.
She's not anymore.
Oh, bummer.
She voted.
No. She's married to one of those guys from Parquet Courts now.
Yeah.
And rich.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
He's rich now.
Rich now.
Got everything he wants. He's rich now. He's got everything he wants.
This is definitely going to be for the visual people who don't listen to it, because they're just going to hear like a lot of empty spots and they're going to be like, what are they doing? Well, we're showing off pictures. If anybody listens to the audio version only, well, go to the video. So this is all for the video people.
Watchers.
For YouTube.
Do you get more listeners or watchers?
You know what? I haven't moved to any of the audio yet, just because I'm kind of feeling it out and seeing what's better visually or audibly. I might switch it over. I had a recommendation from Sean, who did the Horror Vision podcast. He was telling me that there's certain websites you can go to and do it for free instead of having to fork out so much money for distribution. Yeah. So he was like, oh, if you switch it over to audio only, then just go through, I think it was like Spotify something. And then, so I might try that out, but I'm just trying to get the feel of all this. And I might only do like maybe the interview portions, because I do a lot of like review stuff where I'm just like, okay.
Dang it.
How would you rate this interview on a scale of
this is probably one of the funnest interviews, because I feel like, I've only done, I think maybe about 3, and Lars is awesome. But I was busy staring at all this stuff in the background because he's got a lot of cool hardware. And then I was a little nervous with Brad, just because it was my first interview. But he was at a barbershop, so there's a lot of I just get distracted a lot. So, and at least with the books and stuff, I go, okay, I can't see that. I can't see. So, but I mean, this is probably one of the better interviews so far.
What
So,
is what was the third interview you've done? Because I watched Femme Fatale and
Oh.
Undoing.
What was the?
yeah, that was. I mean, I didn't really do it. Me and my brother, we reviewed Come and See, so that wasn't really like another interview. That was just kind of us goofing and being geeky people talking about Russian World War II movies. So, but yeah, so no, I would say this one's probably the better one. So
Oh, good.
it's very much a visual podcast, and I appreciate it. So
We didn't interview Travis and I about Barf Bag someday.
Yeah.
I got it in my notes. I mean, there's a lot of side projects that you guys are.
Let's do a lightning round.
I wish I added more, but I was just saying. Let's see, we got blind dates.
Oh yeah, Gary. Man, that's a lot of stories. Yeah,
The old timers, you mentioned that.
that was a lot of fun.
The telephone company, which is is it kids music type?
It's punk band.
Yep. The Oblong Boys,
It's our band.
and then I think.
Low Red Center.
Some Oblong Boys.
Okay, yeah, the costumes. Yeah, I was gonna say, did you guys make those yourself?
Yeah, it was just card stock from the HEB.
Oh, okay. The Aristotlers.
Oh yeah, that was
The full Monty.
we used to do a band lotto.
Business deal. That
Yeah.
would be a really
We
good
only did it
interview.
twice. I guess we only
We
did it twice.
Well, we want to do it again. But
Yeah, we were gonna do it again, but then we didn't.
Okay.
The
We can still
Doberman
do it.
Cubers. The Doberman Cubers.
Yes, that was short-lived and noisiness.
Let's see. Low Red Center.
Yes, Low Red Center was an improvised minimal synthesizer,
Well, there you go. Mutating Meltdown.
non-improvised. Find a couple of members of Finally Punk.
Oh, okay.
One of the members is now in Rosemary's Band.
Oh yeah, what's Rosemary's Band? You want to plug Rosemary's Band?
Cabeza de Vaca coming out.
Ah yes.
Okay. Yeah. If anybody's listening to this, write that one down. Spectrum Rider.
Oh yeah, that's it's a current project.
Okay. Is that something you're currently working on, or is that okay? Cool. So hope to see more of that in the future, kind of thing.
We'll see. We'll
Okay.
see.
Tense.
Tense
Mm.
was part of a series of straight to YouTube recordings.
It was
Oh,
also-
okay. Isn't that all on your YouTube stuff? I think you posted a lot of you'll post like albums and music videos that you've worked on and stuff like that. So I'll add that into the descriptions for people to check out. Weird Al.
Weird Owl, yeah.
Owl, yeah, Owl.
Where there was a band called Weird Owl that was like they played festivals and stuff.
Yeah. And that was with Jason Cronus, who's touring with Montreal, or with
Montreal, yeah.
telenovela that they're touring with of Montreal right now. Funny because Montreal came up.
Yeah.
Chopper Jocks. Those are the only ones I got left. So
Yeah, Chopper Jocks, couple helicopter pilots. And we just, we set up the synthesizers and just let them have at it.
there you go.
And they did
Yeah.
surprisingly well. I mean,
Yeah.
You wouldn't expect. It's real. Flying a helicopter is really technical, and there's a lot of electronics involved. So you have to have like a pretty deep knowledge.
Yeah.
And so
No
I think
presets, just all goof around and have fun.
they knew what they were doing.
So the message is everyone should write a novel using artificial intelligence.
Sounds good. Yeah, I guess I'll wrap it up. Is there anything else you guys want to add?
Sorry about the chat. GPT.
No, this is great.
No, I mean, I wanted to because I've watched two of your other interviews, and so I'm always just curious about your background.
Mine?
You, just behind you, though, physically.
This is my bedroom. It's the closest, it's the most comfortable place without having kids run around because I got a young daughter. And the other two just kind of hang out. I have 3 daughters, and the other ones just kind of hang out in the room. So the young one always likes to know when, like when I'm doing something, she wants to get involved all the time. So I'll just hang out in my room. This is my my leg lamp.
Oh, yeah,
it's like a
that's
nice
story.
miniature version.
Yeah, it's the minute. Yeah, it's the only one I could afford. That's not $500. So, and then
Better.
yeah, black walls and white roses. So that's just kind of hanging
Yeah.
out.
I can only see one of the roses now, but you have two. Are there more than two? Oh, there are more than two. It's
And then
even
that's my wife's bat right there. It's a bat light.
important.
Yep. So yeah.
Yeah.
So yep.
I like the painting with the sculptures.
Yeah. Yeah, it was her idea. I'm not very good at, designing anything. So
You have 2 daughters?
I have 3.
3.
Really nice.
Yeah. I have one that's 15, 13, and 9.
Have you been able to have any musical influence over them?
My oldest, she'll listen to I don't try and like overpower it because then they'll just be like, oh, this is dad's music. I don't want to hear any of that stuff. So it's like if she'll listen to something, I'll go, oh, okay, like I'll acknowledge it. I won't be like because then it's just cheesy. So it's like she'll listen to like Deftones. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. The Smiths, um, Led Zeppelin, stuff like that. Like while all the other kids have like divorced dad rock, she just has married dad rock. So and it's
Wait. Does she get the let out or do you?
the what?
Do you get the let out or does she get the let out?
I get the let on.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just
So,
wondering.
and then my middle daughter, she doesn't quite listen to a lot of music, but she's got like likes a lot old movies like Godzilla movies and stuff like that. So she's been kind of in that like watches Godzilla movies and all that kind of creativity. And the youngest one, she's still pretty, trying to figure herself out. But yeah, so
That's great.
yeah,
That's
so
Pat, what are your children listening to?
Crispin is really obsessed with Mike Watt.
oh, okay.
He's the bassist for this band called the Minutemen.
Mhm.
And he made a solo record called Tugboat or Ball Hog. Yeah, with a whole lot of people. And there's this one song called Big Train. He loves that song so much. And then Nigel, he's just turned 1. He's really into craft work. It's funny because we were talking about that.
Yeah. That's cool. Anybody else have kids, or are you just the only one that has?
I'm the gayest member, so I have kids, obviously.
So, that's fine. So is there anything else you guys have been up to lately? Is there anything you want to plug?
I really like this band called Neets. It's Neets. They're from Providence, Rhode Island, and it's probably the most Zolo music made right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they're produced by my former roommate. His name's Paul Miller.
Mm-hmm.
He has a band called Slugbug, which is super Zolo-y, and we lived together for 5 years, and he was in pataphysics for a while.
Oh, it's the back.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
It's a neat cover. I like that.
Crispin always calls him the Broccoli Man because he has broccoli on the
Broccoli on the yeah.
And he's amazing. He produces all the pataphysics records now. He started with My Phone's About to Die, and then went on to.
He produces Addict Ted too.
Oh yeah, that's it.
And Lemon Twigs.
Lemon Twigs is who he's producing now.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of like, people call them revivalists, but honestly, I think it's just an original concept they've got going.
It's like songs about drunk driving.
Yep. It's like, this is the most unhappiest day of my life, the most unhappiest day of my life, the most unhappiest day of my life. That kind of music.
That sounds great. So it's like Bright Eyes, just a little bit more.
It's not one of their songs, but
yeah, that's okay. I'd take it.
Take it and put a Todd Rundgren. Yeah. Just sprinkle it with some Todd Rundgren.
Is there anything else you want to add? Travis or Chad?
Are you going to interview Brian from Yip Yip Baba Boing?
I have him on the list. I might try and hit him up. Yeah. So right now I got.
Brian should be at the top of your list. That guy is the most punk rock synth together.
Yeah. Well, my next interview next week, I got to do Nervous Gender.
Oh, wow, amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then right after July 4th weekend, I'm doing Joe Castro, who is a special effects artist and director. I'm trying to kind of spice it up, get producers and, other than just keep doing musicians and stuff. But yeah, so I'm kind of getting a few things. So I got Yip Yip on the list for sure to do.
We were in NME.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where the picture came from. Okay.
Where it's legit. Like it's an episode.
Yeah, no. It's got pretty little things on it, or pretty, yeah. So that's awesome. That's okay. Yeah, I'm fine with that. So
for us.
But yeah, if there's anything else you guys need to add, or
what do they call us? They call us natty something.
Nazis.
Gay Nazis.
They call us gay Nazis.
Gay Nazis?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
That's their sense of humor, not ours.
I was gonna say I don't ever remember hearing or seeing any Nazi sort of, black metal Burzum type, propaganda. So no.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all socialists.
We are firm socialists.
Is that an Austin thing, or is that just
firm? We'll never let it go.
No, Austin's not socialist.
Is it not very social? I thought it would be a little bit more liberal than,
It's the capital of Texas, so all the lawmakers are here.
Well, I didn't know, between Dallas and Austin, I always thought Austin was a little bit more laid back than, it was a little bit more liberal than. I mean, I don't want to get too involved with politics. That kind of bores people. So, but.
Yeah, I mean, we're as political as it gets here.
We're pretty much the political epicenter.
Yep. Cool. All right. Well, I'll go ahead and conclude this interview. I appreciate you guys being on. So
yeah, thanks for putting up with us. We're real. Yeah. We're way too zolo.
That's okay. No, that's fine. No, it's very entertaining interview. I loved it. So, got anything else to? Okay. All right. We will close with that. Enjoy, everybody. Thank you.